it really culminated at UFA 2022 when we did see him take the set of Chag, and everyone was like, God damn, like,
Yeah.
hard work really does pay off, you know? And I want to see that hard work pay off even more, because Skaws, you know, he's got a lot to live up for right now, you know, being on a massive, big winning streak, generally speaking. Had a very unfortunate time at Shonen War 2 in France, but generally speaking, his performance has been crazy ever since, obviously, he had that hand injury as well, meaning he was unable to play for around a month. But even still, I remember the meltdown that he came back, he was even better than before. So I want to see, this is the second tournament that he has after his short little hiatus. So I do want to see, you know, him perform very well here. But, you know, right now, Lancelot seems to have his number to a degree, just absolutely going crazy with the Chrom.
And this is the thing as well, like with Chrom in particular, this is another character that has sort of fallen from grace from right at the start of the meta, right? There was a lot of talk, particularly in those like first couple of months where, you know, was Chrom the best character in the game? We were seeing, particularly pre-patch, where you could just up-B someone on whatever % you wanted. But definitely a character that has fallen off a lot. A lot of players have dropped the character, and we can see Skaws already has got that proficiency. Again, we did have some Chrom players across the UK as well, and you know for a fact that Skaws has labbed the best way to ruin that up-B.
Most definitely so, man. Skaws knows the best punishes with every character, man. If you've seen him against the Rob, bro, I don't want to see that because the Rob is going to get absolutely decimated. He's got those double tosses down to a T, but Lancelot, you know, taking that first stock against Skaws already, once again showing why he's the #1 in Finland, why he's always been a top contender for these European tournaments. Yeah.
And it's interesting to note as well, because typically when you think of Toon Link, you think of, you know, oh, it's just a zoner. They've just got all these projectiles. They're going to be camping me out, blah, 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 blah. But Skaws is a real master of utilizing Toon Link's frame data and honest, ridiculous sort of pressure on shield that Toon Link can go for. And I think there's definitely going to be a little jarring element here. Lancelot is doing a really good job of dealing with it at the moment. It definitely feels like he's sort of got that aggressive approach and is doing so well at closing that space. But the fact that, you know, it's not just an instant wash when you get in on Skaws' Toon Link specifically.
Yes, most definitely so. You mentioned his knowledge on frame rate is crazy because he knows exactly what moves that he does that are safe and what's not. So he knows exactly when to disengage, and that's definitely been one of his strongest, one of his biggest facets of why he's been so successful recently. He knows when to aggress, he knows when to pressure, and you know, whenever he messes up, immediately he just rod reviews that, literally, and tries not to make that mistake next time. And the second thing is his bomb confirms are crazy. You give this guy an item, you've leveled him up from, you know, a mid-level player to like someone that's absolutely crazy on the sticks. But Lancelot, once again, getting that back air, closing out that second stock from Skaws. But you know what? Skaws ain't too far behind, bro. I'm gonna be real.
I was going to say, it's been a slow but sure comeback here for Skaws. Of course, Lancelot, just the beautiful movement from Chrom, using these two platforms on Stadium to such great effect, just juggling up to 62% and then continuing the ledge trap as well. 70%, and it's so hard to get off the ledge against Chrom, and just trying to finish it all there. Didn't quite manage to connect the forward air, and that's there as well. Very, very safe when perfectly spaced, and this is just curtains for Chrom right there. When you're sent off that far, it's inevitable.
Oh, inevitable, definitely. The way Skaws right now, oh my god, trying to snuff out that up B, you know, I can't lie, Chrom mains are like absolute trolls because I feel like they themselves have dug themselves into a hole by highlighting how bad that up B is at certain times, right? But oh my god, we're seeing nearly the updraft confirmed. Skaws' his up to up air confirmed. Nearly kill Lancelot, and once again, like you said, slowly but surely, Skaws has made things back. 1-3-4, keeping Lancelot in the air right now.
And Lancelot's terrified. That's the beautiful part of it. It's so interesting to see that from the start he had all the momentum, all the pacing, and a little bit of suspect DI there on the back air, but that was way, way closer than the first minute would have indicated.
Most definitely so, man. Like, it literally, that last stop, like, Skaws just absolutely turned up, completely catching Lancelot off guard, you know, using his projectiles perfectly to pull him up into positions where he can follow up with those up tilts, with those up airs, keep him in airborne at all times, or force him to platforms where he doesn't have much space to move around. And Lancelot, Chrom in general, these swordies, they definitely love to have their space, right? Suffocating them down to a single platform is essential to keeping them at bay.
So ridiculous. And of course, every single player at this point has got some excellent accolades next to their name, and we can see the focus that Skaws has got right now, just making sure, again, both these players having very, very clean runs all the way up to top 64. And that's the thing, it was like Skaws is so good at that resetting the mentality and just thinking, okay, I know exactly what I need to do. He's so methodical in how he looks at this game, and he has already pinpointed. I remember there was a conversation I had with him. You mentioned the Chag win earlier on, right?
Right, yeah.
I had this conversation. I was like, oh, well done on the Chag win because, incredible. And he was like, yeah, I was a little bit worried at first. And I remember I did VOD review, and I picked up 4 habits that Chag had, which for me as a tutor, I'm like, what do you mean Chag got 4 habits? What are you on about? And then he was like, oh, I was a little bit scared at first, but then, he showed them all in the first 30 seconds, and I'm like, how on earth?
30 seconds. Like, that's the result of hard work. Like,
Yeah.
the amazing analysis prowess that he has is absolutely crazy. And I want to see that again in this game. I want to see him try and, really methodically find out what Lancelot's weaknesses are. And definitely in the last stock, I felt like that it was still there. It felt like him being on the back foot was almost intentional, rather. But Lancelot, I mean, we talk about Skaws a lot, but Lancelot's just absolutely crazy with Chrom, ridiculous. His positioning and his combo game is mental. The one thing that Chrom definitely has over Roy is the consistency in his combos, right? When things hit, you know what they cannot confirm to, right? Because of the consistency in his blade. Having that consistent, damage and multiplier across the entire blade means you can get these consistent hitboxes out at all times and into these consistent confirms and kills. Beautiful first stock from Lancelot.
And also, I really want to bring to attention almost these timings and the angles, I say angles, but like the distances rather, that Lancelot is going for these up Bs, because again, we mentioned, Taylor's oldest time, Chrom's got a bad recovery, we've all been there. But in the same vein, it feels like Skaws has been going for these attempts on the up B, but hasn't managed. But that was the first one that we have seen there, and excellent, the returning boomerang into the up B, just managing to finally gimp the up B from Chrom. It's the first one that we've seen, and I'm very, very sure it's not going to be the last one, Wrecker.
Commentator's blessing, it seems like, for Skaws there. You mentioned it, and as soon as you said that, gets the punish off the up B. Beautiful stuff there. Love that stock there from Skaws. Can he continue on, though? I love the weight for him, though. Amazing weight. But there you go, just going to get quickly reversal onto the left side there. Lancelot has his number just a little bit, but it's going to whiff that back air. Truly, it might be detrimental. You give Skaws some space, you don't know what's going to happen. Hold on.
Oh, trying to get the ledge from there, trying to get a little bit cheeky with it, maybe even catch with the hitbox on the way down. But again, Skaws being stuck in these situations at ledge and on the platforms. Oh, and a down tilt. Oh. Lovely little tech chase there. Again, Skaws knowing in that position, I don't think I can quite punish it, and just being within that range of the forward tilt as well. Lancelot with a bit of a lead here.
Definitely. Skaws, once again, we're seeing him on the back foot. Is he going to turn the situation around just like he did on that last stock? Because it ended very even, and the situation right now was very similar as last game. So I'm wondering if Skaws is going to turn him right now, as Lancelot struggles to make it back. Does once get met with an F-tilt. Keep it up, Skaws. Let's see how it goes.
I was going to say, and once again, another up B attempt just being stifled out there, and a clean 26% on the up B at a shield. The first up smash that we had seen from Skaws, and I'm loving these moments. Again, a little bit of suspect DI, maybe trying to drift away to avoid the back air, and just had the spacing a little bit wrong, and Lancelot manages to seal the game too. Again, Skaws, mentality of steel. He knows what he needs to do, and it's just executing it in those moments. And we're seeing it here and there, right? We're seeing the ideas in motion, but it's just the execution that's just a little bit lackluster at the moment.
Definitely. It's the execution that's definitely the key here, like you said. And it's like we're seeing him try and go for these up B punishes, right? But he's just unable to, he's very, very close to getting it, but also so close to missing it as well. He keeps getting snuffed out at the very end of that, the peak of the apex of the up B there. So I think he's nearly got it. I think he just keep at it, and I think he's got it, low-key.
And of course, full credit to Lancelot as well. Again, the fact that you've got a recovery this exploitable, and you're able to sort of still weave in and out, and just not. There was one gimmick in 2 games, one gimp in 2 games. It's so impressive to see, and I've really got to give credit to Lancelot for how safe he's playing it. There's really very little in terms of overextending, right? Lancelot knows exactly how much he can get off of any given interaction, and I think part of that is what you were talking about earlier on, right? The consistent hitboxes of Chrom's sword and the consistent knockback as well. Just being able to know, okay, I can get these 3 hits, and then I can wait, and then I'm in advantage, and I'm going to go from there. And Lancelot has just got this down to a science.
He definitely has, and then honestly, it's truly Lancelot is the definition of well-rounded. Every single aspect of his gameplay just seems to be really consistent, just as his character is, you know, truly a perfect fit for him, you know, as Skaws tries to make it back at 86% right now. Lancelot, once again, just being very, you know, not being very committal at all, throwing out these hitboxes, but also keeping it very safe indeed. But knowing what, but once again, once he gets these hits and these stray hits, he's able to convert with the like a very high rate. Down there, actually propping him up there. Beautiful stuff there. The sour spot, propping Skaws up in the perfect position, but Lancelot isn't able to convert off that. But there, oh no, that'll be is not the one. Not the one at all. But Skaws getting a bit desperate.
There's like little hints as well of, you know, Toon Link, again, not the most common character in the world, but it feels like Lancelot has been doing work to make sure that he knows this matchup at some level. And oh my goodness, just trying again and again. And it doesn't matter where you try and be in that situation. Skaws has got you covered.
Amazing stuff, bro, from Skaws. That'll be punished, working perfectly to his favor, evening things out, which was very well done. Beautiful stuff from him, getting the back hit in. And, you know, Lancelot over here trying to dash in, trying to find an opening, and he does with that neutral air into the double forward air. The crowd also going alive right now, Joycey. They really want their boy Skaws to win. Like you said, the new hero of the UK.
For sure. And that's the thing. I've really got to credit Lancelot as well for, I feel like Lancelot's definitely done his research, because in that situation where, you know, Skaws down tilted the shield, Lancelot knew not to blink. Right? Yes. Because it's so tempting. If you're not familiar with the character, you just go for your outer shield option. You're having a great time. But the Z-drop bomb into the forward air, you said it earlier on, and we'll say it again, do not give this man a projectile. Awful things will happen to you.
Oh my god, literally he has his hands on anything, and he can just use it to the best degree possible. That was like, if that wasn't optimal, I don't know what is. Using the down tilt, right, he puts him off stage, and you think he might go for an aerial or something, but gets the bomb out. I'm like, why has he got the bomb out right now? C-drops that perfectly calculated into the back air. Khalas! That's it. And the stock's gone from Lancelot. And Skaws right now has an entire stock lead, but that's gone. Okay, I was going to say, Lancelot is no stranger to these sick confirms too, popping him up on the platform into the up smash. But Skaws...
Oh, and just about avoiding the up B gimp that definitely would have killed at that point. And Lancelot just about getting away from the up trap, but the second one's going to clear it there. Skaws on the board. Yeah,
Skaws on the board indeed, man. And only the crowd literally has come so alive. I honestly, look at that. Beautiful. Such a unison from the entire Smash UK scene. Because, you know, you usually see, like, this backing from, you know, players of regions. Like, Darkstalker, all of London loves Darkstalker, right? But not so much on the outside. Maybe, actually, France loves him for some reason, even though he constantly say French is free. I don't even know why, but whatever. But the point is, right, Skaws has the entire UK on his back right now.
Yeah.
You know? Even though he's not even like, he's definitely not the best player here, but he's definitely the favorite for many.
Yeah, I think also as well is that element of when it's UK against UK, it does come down to that, you know, like the regional rivalry and things like that. But I feel like the one thing I love about the UK scene in general is that when it is UK against international talent, it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter the character that we play. It's like we're banding around you. It's, you know, pride over everything at this point. And Skaws, definitely, we're going to see the Yoshi story pick, which is honestly a pretty terrifying prospect. I don't see this stage all that often. It's an auto ban for a lot of people, but again, Skaws got the confidence to be able to get these platform conversions maybe, and these smaller blast zones as well. Definitely going to help out Lancelot, but certainly it's going to help out Skaws as well. Both of these players very much enjoy killing off the sides, and again, the closer blast zones are going to come in real handy for both of these players.
I mean, I'm going to ask you a question here. Do you think those ledges at the sides, obviously being at an angle here on Yoshi's, do you think that's going to make Lancelot's recovery even more exploitable?
I'll be real, I'm not too sure. There is a real chance that potentially it could. On the other hand, the Yoshi's ledges, they do what they want, to be honest. It might even be that it helps out because the slant might make the sword like a little more prominent. I genuinely have no idea. Clearly Lancelot knows something I don't and is making the most of this stage here with a classic true jab to back air to get the first stock.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Lancelot. and, you know, continuing on his pressure. You know, that last game ain't going to get him down. He's still the one with the point lead right now, and that is so many up airs. Can we see another one, Lancelot? Give it to me right now, but Skaws meeting him with a back air. The armor on the initial startup of that up B is going to prove to be very useful.
And just catches the retreat away. A little head shake there from Lancelot, and Skaws, he's still in this.
Because that's one of them like real hard reads, you know. Skaws went in that up smash, he knew it was going to hit, right? And that sort of thing takes a toll on your mental. But there we go. But you know what? Lancelot still very much in this because, I mean, he's the one with the lead right now. Skaws can die off any back air, any forward air rather, off the forward or even, like, perfect from Lancelot. Really, like, there's nothing else to say.
And I feel like the offstage game from Lancelot in terms of trying to get Toon Link's recovery, that's something we saw a little bit in game 1, and then it came back in this game 4. It feels like Skaws was maybe a bit asleep at the wheel, but at the moment there's only one person that might be sleeping a little bit, and that is Lancelot on his opponent right now. And look at the fear there, right? Just seeing the up B on shield and just waiting, thinking to myself, I'm not even going to attempt to punish because I don't know what Skaws has got, I don't know what's up his sleeve, but he's got a lot of tricks, and I am at very much risk of getting hit by them. Real scary stuff, but again, Lancelot just doing what he does best. These juggles, slowly but surely making his way up to 70%. The ledge trap, the jab to grab as well.
Hold on. Hold.
Yeah, it's a scary position here. Skaws just about managing to get back down off the platform.
Okay, yes, can Skaws try and make things back? Because, you know, we've been talking a lot about Skaws, but Lancelot, he's gotten Skaws kind of cornered right now. You know, we were talking about how scared Lancelot is, but truly and surely, maybe Skaws is the one that should be scared right now. That F-tilt looking very, very close to killing. Oh my God!
What an aggressive option there from Skaws, just saying, you know what, you get back to the stage, we'll both go back there, and then I'll send you to the blast zone myself. And Skaws with a last chance effort here to take this to a game 5. We've seen what this man can do in advantage state, but Lancelot, like a shark that can smell blood at the moment.
Oh, that's way too committal, giving Lancelot